Evangelist Becky Ahmed. My daughter came to Nigeria. She has stayed 10 years in US, and she said she's coming home to visit us, and the sister was celebrating in May. So she came earlier to celebrate with us. After the celebration, she said she was going to Ghana to see one of her friends, and she went to Ghana, had an accident, and she had a very deep cut on her leg, which they stitched. Then she came back home, then went to US in July. She went to visit a friend in New York, and she went to ease herself. She slumped, and that's why they took her to the hospital. The doctor called me and said my daughter is in ICU, and she's very, very, very sick. Very, very sick. I said, well, I don't know. I just called on God. I said, God, you know, the father had dialysis and died 6 years ago. And I told God, affliction shall not arise the second time. And they called me again. I keep signing consent from Abuja to US. They asked me for my name, my email, and my phone number. And that is how I was signing all the consent. They told me that her kidneys, all her organs has failed. As I'm seeing her, she's only breathing with the oxygen they fix, that her organs have failed. I say, okay. I say, God, they say her organs have failed, but there's first part in heaven. There's nothing that you cannot do. So we keep praying. For 3 months, she was unconscious. And when the doctor called me to and says, you see, they check all her systems. They say she has infection, but they can't locate the infection. They don't know where the infection is coming from. But what they see is that at the back of her leg, there is something like blood stained. And in her hand, the right hand, something like stain. They say I should sign another consent. I did, and they cut deep, and the other side, and they find nothing. Nothing. They say she's on 5 antibiotics, and they don't know which one to remove. So they just left the antibiotics there. They don't know where the infection is coming from. By the grace of God, I met with the man of God, Pastor Jerry Eze. He had an award that was to do with PFN. We had an award, and I was one of the awardees too. And when they called him, to be frank, I only see El-Roi, to be candid. And people tell me about El-Roi, but I've never seen him face to face. So on that day, I was in the end, and he was in the other end. So as they called him, I said, this is an opportunity. And I ran. I went to him. I showed him my phone. I said, sir, look at my daughter. She's very sick. And they say that dialysis, she's going to carry it for life because her kidneys are not big. She's on dialysis 3 times in a week. When I gave the phone to Papa, he raised his hand. After praying, I tell you, everything went off. The kidneys speak back. The kidneys were restored. She's restored back, and she has gone to work. How will I dance? How will I dance? Sure. Thank you, Jehovah, God of our journey, and that God that sees us. I know him. El-Roi, Jehovah Mesekinu. He cannot change. Jehovah alone is God alone. There's no God like him. And I say, I don't know what to say, and I don't know how to dance. They say, how will you dance? And how will you shout? I want to shout, praise!